My wife and I are going over to a friend's house, or one of her friends, and she ditched me. She forgot to give me the address, so I'm hoping I'm going off memory here. I guess I'll have to text her once I get to a stop. But she's not with me because we made some buffalo chicken dip, and that's in the back of the truck. So I'm riding solo. It's such a beautiful day I had to get out. Speaking of friends, I am totally pumped up for this trip I have coming up. Going to West Virginia and doing some riding. And it's not necessarily just because of the riding. I mean, of course, that's important, but it's more the camaraderie and the bonds and the friendships that I've made over the years doing what I'm doing. And a little history about me. So I started this about 3 years ago, just as a hobby. I mean, I enjoy riding and I enjoy photography. I strapped a friggin' camera on my head and I started talking. Broncoride was born, I guess. That's how it all came about. So anyway, when I first started riding, that was back in 2008. I had a Fat Bob, and I ended up getting an upgrade, a 2016 Street Glide Special, even though this one's a 17. I ended up trading it in a year later, almost the exact same price on it, because I enjoyed the Milwaukee 8 engine, so it was worth it to me. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Back in 2016, when I first purchased the Street Glide, the 16 one, I was watching YouTube, and it was a pretty small channel, still am, but still nonetheless, it's a couple people were doing motovlogging, and we were chatting back and forth. And there's a gentleman named Freedom Rider. He's out of Florida now, but he used to live in Connecticut. Just out of the blue, he's like, hey, you want to go on a ride that they're planning on coming up down in North Carolina? It's like a group ride, and it's several people that are on YouTube. Most everybody, I believe, is on YouTube. I said, hey, sure, why not? I bought this bike for a reason. And so I went up there. And after I got up there, I realized how much friggin' fun I had, not just because of the riding. We rode around the North Carolina area. We went to Carolina Beach, and it was hosted by a gentleman by the name of McKaylee7, which probably a lot of you are subscribed to. The home base was his house, and there were 9 of us. And kind of a variety of people from different areas, and we all met up, all based off YouTube. But what was more fun, honestly, than the riding was sitting down at the end of each day and not decompressing, but just hanging out with your new friends. And it's weird because, like, I grew up with 9 or 10 guys that I would say are my closest brothers, my closest friends. We've gone through ups and downs with each other. We've gone to each other's weddings and all that stuff. You know, when you're younger, it's a lot easier to make friends. And then in your 20s, you start your career, and then your career focus, and you're still making friends. But then once you get married and have kids, that kind of gets put to the back seat a little bit. Whereas what's more important is your family. And friendships, you know, I didn't make a ton when I was in my 30s. I had some, but I still stuck with all of these guys that I went to high school and college with. We talk all the time. We take trips together once a year. And when we see each other, it's like we just left off where we were last year. It's great. It's very, very, very similar to motorcycle riding friends, and I can't explain it. Like, I met these guys for a couple days. We rode together, and now, just from 2016, we talk all the time. Not all the time, but we talk frequently, and some more than others. But still, I could meet any of these guys and not ride with them for 2 years, and it'd be like we've known each other our whole lives. And I think that's an amazing thing. And I don't know if you get that with all other groups. I feel like you get that with motorcycling. And maybe that's because, yeah, am I biased because I ride a bike? Absolutely. But do you think well, let me give you an example. I just passed a minute ago that the Signal, a Prius. Do you think they have like Prius clubs? I mean, like you all go to a destination, let's meet up and ride our Prius together and talk about gas mileage within the day. You don't. I mean, maybe they do. I mean, there's no disrespect towards the Prius owners of the world. God love you. But with motorcycling, it doesn't have to be freaking Harley. It could be any type of bike, any type of motorcycle. And it seems like everybody has that same factor about them. They're just so laid back. They're so down to earth. And even if you have differences political, or you might have some differences here and there, it doesn't matter. Because we're all have this shared bond of motorcycling, but even more important, the more we get to know each other, it's amazing how much we have in common. It's amazing that after a couple days of riding with somebody, you maintain that friendship. And we did. Like, I maintained several friendships that I did from that first year. And then 2017, it was a lot bigger. It was a little too big. We had like 25, 30 people when we all went to the Tail of the Dragon area, Robbinsville, down by Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Riding was a blast. There was a lot of people, but still, I still talk to people today that I rode with for a couple days there. And I enjoyed more at the end of the day just sitting down. There was one night we sat down next to a campfire. I mean, I think we rode for 15 hours. We were all exhausted, and we started early into the night late because it doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock. We'd sit around the fire till like 1 in the morning, shoot the shit, and get to know each other. And that was like the most awesome time. Another example, like last year, there were 4 of us, and that was Harley, Trek, Moose, and Orvis, 2 of the guys that have been originally from the 2016 ride. And my cousin has the one of those cabins in Tennessee, and he let us borrow it. And we went up there. We all said, let's go out riding. We're going to enjoy our time and stay at the cabin for the weekend. We ended up probably staying at the cabin more than we did riding. And you know what? That's totally cool. And it wasn't because of the weather. It's just because we got up there, we just started talking. And it was amazing. It was like 9, 10 in the morning. We're going to go ride. Then we just kept talking. We kept talking. We kept talking. And we enjoyed it so much that I think there was one day we only got a couple hours riding because we were just shooting the shit all day long. And then we do a little riding, come back, start drinking, having some fun, and do it all again the next day. And that's okay because of that camaraderie. And that's what's going to happen with this upcoming ride. So 3 years in a row, I've done this. I've done these long distance rides. First year was North Carolina, then Tennessee. Last year we went up to New England. Had a blast, absolute blast. I look forward to going to these rides, and it's because of these friendships. It's because of these people that are on YouTube that are so down to earth. And not everybody that goes there, you have to be a creator. A lot of them are subscribers, but everybody is just cool. There's not a dick in the bunch. And I just love it. I mean, I love that we could sit down and chat about anything. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you ride. It's just the point that you ride and you enjoy life. And to me, that's what it's all about. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm not trying to get all sentimental and shit, but that's this trip coming up in West Virginia. I'm more looking forward to meeting some new friends, meeting new friends and then meeting some old friends that rode with me in that 2016 McKinley 7, Jason, Harley Trek, Orvis. They're all going to be there. And I can't wait to see them. But it's going to be great to meet new people. And we'll just talk, and then we'll make friendships and continue it. Because I always have my friends that I grew up with, but I've only been doing this for 3 years, and I've made more friends, more lifelong friends, just by riding a motorcycle and not a Prius. All right, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.